Hi Virgo, welcome to my channel, The Fool's Journey Tarot. This is a general love reading for the sign of Virgo for this upcoming week in March. Today is March 22nd, 2020. This is a general love reading, so bear in mind it can pertain to just about anything, relationships, situations in family, home, circumstances, work, you name it, it might apply. If you are interested in more detailed information about my readings and my videos, please check out the description box below. There is more information there. I do want to remind all my viewers to be flexible with the energy. You may feel like I'm reading for you. You could potentially feel like you're cross-watching for somebody that you're dealing with. Do not concern yourself about the gender of the cards. You may be represented by any of the characters that shows up in the reading. My intention is always to reach the people who need the message the most and who will benefit in some way from the message. So take what resonates, leave behind what doesn't. It is very possible that you may resonate with part of it and not other parts. So we're going to get started, Virgo. I want to give this deck a cut and let's see what's going on with Virgo. Here we go. We're going to start off with the Ace of Swords, paired with the Eight of Swords, the Chariot in reverse, the Ten of Wands in reverse, the Queen of Cups, the Six of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands, and the Queen of Swords in reverse. Okay, Virgo, so what is going on here? So we have a Queen of Cups on the table. The Queen of Cups is a very loving and compassionate, intuitive individual. She's very loving and compassionate, but also very protective of her emotions. She doesn't just hand out her love to everybody. She's very particular, if you will, about who she gives love to, because when she does, she gives everything of herself. She's looking for equal give and take in her relationships. She wants partnerships that will not only benefit her, but ones that she knows she can play a significant role in. This may represent your energy, Virgo. It could be somebody that you're dealing with. We also have a Queen of Swords on the table. These cards are going everywhere. Queen of Swords in reverse. This can be somebody who's very cold, cutting, calculating with her words, someone who's very harsh. This could indicate somebody who is not communicating at all, keeping to herself, or if she is communicating or interacting with others, again, she is not a very pleasant person to be around. This could be somebody who is manipulative with their words. This could indicate somebody who's deceitful. She's paired with the Knight of Wands. I do not feel like these two are the same energy. This feels like somebody different. Feels like this queen is getting ready to take action, or is taking action, or is maybe getting ready to express herself. I get the feeling, it feels like she's going in for battle. I get that sense that there's some kind of antagonistic energy coming off of this Queen of Swords. So in your underlying energy, we have the Ace of Swords and the Eight of Swords. And this is a pretty intense image with these two cards together. I think you might agree, Virgo. Now, the Ace of Swords is all about clarity, truth, making decisive decisions, standing your ground. And the Eight of Swords is all about feeling trapped or feeling unable to move, unable to take action, unable to escape. Perhaps this is indicating an inability to get away from a truth or some clarity, maybe regarding this relationship or this connection between this Queen of Cups, Queen of Swords. Again, I'm leaning towards Virgo being the Queen of Cups in this reading so far. Let's get some more cards out here for you, Virgo, and see what else is up. Ace of Swords is clarified by the Three of Pentacles. And then we have the Knight of Wands in reverse, clarifying the Eight of Swords. Eight of Wands in reverse. The Three of Swords. The Queen of Cups is clarified by the Nine of Cups. Ten of Swords. The Queen of Wands. And the Eight of Cups. Okay, I feel like this Queen of Wands and this Queen of Swords is the same person. And I feel like this is the person you're dealing with, Virgo. This Queen of Wands is a very creative, ambitious individual, somebody who is very alluring, somebody who commands a lot of attention, somebody who may be very outgoing, has a large circle of friends, an individual who's not afraid to take action, to make moves, to go after what she wants, to accept responsibility. I think she's been inconsistent in the past. I think that these two queens have a connection. And I think this queen's been inconsistent in the past. I think they've worked together possibly with this Three of Pentacles out here, clarifying this Ace of Swords. I think that there could have been a connection between these two. Maybe they were building something together or creating something together. This connection could be work partners, family members. It doesn't feel romantic, but it could be a romantic connection. But I feel like there's been some obstacles. There's been some inconsistencies, perhaps some inconsistencies with communication in particular. But this Queen of Wands is showing up in the upright, so I feel like there's been some changes in her attitude, changes in her persona. She may have come to terms with some things. I feel like she's been a little unpredictable in the past, and it's caused some problems within this relationship. It may have created obstacles or caused this relationship to come to a screeching halt, or just caused some problems where there was lack of movement or progress.
And it is possible that there's been some separation between these two, or lack of communication, or some grief and heartache that surrounds this relationship that I think is still being dealt with. I think this Queen of Cups, it feels like she maybe feels like she has put a little more effort into this connection than this Queen of Wands has. I think that she feels like she has been the giver in this relationship, and the Queen of Wands has been the receiver. I'm getting that from these cards, and that she wants that to end. I think she wants a more equal give and take within this relationship. I'm getting the feeling with this Knight of Wands, Queen of Wands, she's clarifying that Knight of Wands. And then up here in the underlying energy, the Knight of Wands showed up in the reverse with this Eight of Swords. So I feel like, and this can indicate inconsistent behavior. This can indicate player behavior. Someone who is reckless in nature. Possibly with actions that they've taken in the past, or not being consistent or reliable. And I feel like this Queen of Wands might be coming to terms with maybe the way this relationship is played out in the past. And right now it feels like she may not be communicating. If she has communicated, again, there could be a resistance to communicate or come together at this point in time, because I just feel like there's been some heartaches. There's been some turmoil in this relationship, and it feels like the brakes have been put on. There hasn't been a lot of interaction between these two. If there has, it hasn't been productive. It feels like it could be a working relationship. Could be family members that work together, or doing something together, creative endeavor. We have the Six of Pentacles again, this time clarifying the Ace of Swords. So there's this need for balance in this relationship. And I think this Queen of Cups is waiting on that. I think it feels like she's waiting on something to balance out, something to change. We have Temperance. Page of Swords. Knight of Cups. Nine of Swords, clarifying the Queen of Cups. Four of Cups in reverse. Eight of Pentacles in reverse, clarifying this Knight of Wands. And then we have the Eight of Swords again, clarifying the Queen of Swords in reverse. Excuse me. So right now, Virgo, I feel like you might be in your head a little bit about this. I feel like you're trying to, I think that you want to recover what's been lost in this relationship, but it can't stay the way it was. And I think that you're concerned about that. I think that you have a certain way that you'd like to see this relationship go, but that depends on whether or not this Queen of Wands is willing to do the work, because I do feel like this Queen of Wands has been inconsistent and unpredictable. And at least at this point in time, I don't know that she's doing the work that she needs to do in order to come together with this Queen of Cups and try again. Try for a balanced relationship, something where there's equal give and take. And at this point in time, I feel like she's trapped by the idea that she's going to be the one who needs to come forward, speak about what's gone wrong and how things can be fixed. And she might be intimidated about
speaking up or communicating or initiating conversation, because I just get the feeling like she is working through some things that went wrong in the past that maybe were because of actions that she took, or inactions, her inconsistent behavior. And I think that there's promising energy on the table. We have Temperance, we have the Six of Pentacles. It feels promising to me, like there is some positive work being done that might save this relationship, or have it moving in the right direction. And when I say save, it just feels like at least at some point in time, there may have been an ending, temporary ending perhaps, or maybe it felt permanent at one time, because there just wasn't a balanced situation occurring between these two people. And in order for it to make it work, it's got to be balanced. It's got to be equal. It can't be one person, doing all the work or maintaining the relationship. It has to be both parties. I think communication has been a big issue between these two. A big obstacle, meaning I don't think there's been much communication. If there has been, it hasn't been productive or good communication. And maybe feelings have been left at the door. It feels like it's been cold or harsh. Maybe not a deep consideration for how the other feels. Let's get some more cards out here for you, Virgo. Two of Wands. Eight of Pentacles, this time in the upright position. Ace of Cups. Ten of Cups. Two of Swords. Two of Pentacles in reverse. The Moon in reverse. And there's the Six of Pentacles again. Okay, so I just want to bring this up before I look any further into the cards. The readings that I've gotten the past couple of days, a lot of them have been about relationships in turmoil and people trying to come to terms with things that have gone wrong in the past, with people that are significant in your life. And it's not that I've been avoiding talking about the coronavirus and all that kind of stuff, because I know that there's a lot of turmoil going on in the world and everything's uncertain, everything's up in the air, people are scared, people are worried, people are losing their jobs and income. So it's a very challenging time to be living in this day and age. But I think what's happening at the same time is people are starting to realize that, I've had these connections in my life that have been good and consistent, and things went awry at some point in time, and now it's time to reflect on whether or not it's important to maintain these relationships, keep them going, try to repair them, try to make things work, because if we don't start coming together, if we don't start making things work within our relationships, making decisions that will serve us and the people that we love, then we're really going to be in trouble, right, Virgo? So I think that a lot of people are having to deal with looking at these relationships that are significant in our life and coming to terms with things that have happened in the past and repairing those things or making amends or coming back together, because we can have this again. We can have the Ten of Cups again if we deal with the heartbreak, if we deal with the grief, if we deal with the issues that we've had in the past, because these relationships are worth hanging on to, and we've got to get past these obstacles. We've got to communicate. We've got to initiate. We have to be willing to think about these things and talk about these things, because we're going nowhere at this point in time. If we maintain this level of stubbornness within our interpersonal relationships, we're going to continue to have issues. It's time to maybe stop worrying and thinking about all this. Stop blocking ourselves from having what we need, what we want in our lives, and start making amends and start working on what we need to work on in order to get through this together, not separate. Right, Virgo? Because I think that's what needs to be done. I think this Queen of Wands is doing some heavy work, and it feels like she might have something to reveal or disclose, maybe some secrets that she wants to expose, but I think she's been keeping to herself, and I think she's been unwilling to do the work that she needs to do. You know, I love tarot, and you see this all the time, but I just want to show you this. You know, she's been inconsistent with getting the work done, doing the work that she needs to do, being a participant in this relationship, doing her part. It's been imbalanced. But I think she's in the upright down here in this set of cards, clarifying this Knight of Wands. I think that she's starting to come to terms with some things. I don't know that she's ready yet, Virgo. I have to admit, I'm not sure that she's ready yet to come forward. We still have the Eight of Swords out here twice, indicating that she might still feel trapped by having to heal, having to do some soul searching, having come to terms with what it means to have equal give and take in a relationship, instead of just turning your back and walking away from something that's good for you, something that's right for you, something that can be beneficial for all involved. Because this is worth fighting for, right, Virgo? That's worth having and keeping in your life. So I found it interesting these past couple of days that the readings have had a similar theme, and that seems to be the theme. Is that it's time to figure this shit out and come to terms with some stuff and make things work. So we have the Six of Swords, indicating, you know what? You aren't just going to float your boat away from this situation. You need to go back. You need to deal with it. You need to come to terms with it. You need to make some decisions. You need to choose a correct path. You need to work things out. Five of Swords. There's the Knight of Wands again. King of Cups. He shows up at the last minute. Okay. Three of Pentacles. Knight of Cups again in reverse. Or I should say this time in reverse. Nine of Cups. This time clarifying the Queen of Wands. Interesting. So the Queen of Cups, Queen of Wands both have the Nine of Cups. And then the Ten of Swords. Okay, so I want to just look at this for a second first. You know, with three of Pentacles again that came out here, clarifying this Queen of Cups. I do believe that there is potential for these two energies, these two people, to come back together and make things work, to rebuild this relationship, to rebuild what they had and what they have. I think this Queen of Cups has been blocking this Queen of Wands for a while. I think that she has been adamant in her stance of self-protection. We talked about that before. This is a queen in waiting. She's got her hand over her cup. She's not just going to divvy out her love to anybody. She's giving it to the people that she cares for, and the people that she knows will give her equal give and take. And we have the Six of Pentacles out here three times. So she will give her love, and she will give her devotion and compassion to the people who are going to give it back to her, to the relationships that will be balanced. And I think both of these queens want the same thing. But this Queen of Cups is in self-protection mode, and this Queen of Wands is a little bit in denial, feeling a little bit trapped by, or a little bit shy about having to do the work, maybe having to admit some truths, come to terms with her part in, the troubles within this relationship, because both parties right now feel like there is this desire to make amends and come to terms and rebuild, but there's still reluctance, and there's still denial, and there's still lack of communication, lack of movement. But there is also significant hope. Temperance keeps coming out in these readings also. Spirit has our back. Spirit's been seeing that we've been trapped in these times of conflict, hardships, trouble, and Spirit's watching and Spirit's protecting, Virgo. So there is a lot of positive energy in these cards, but there's still a lot of work to be done, is what I'm seeing. Now we have a King of Cups on the table. I think this King of Cups is an external energy to these two queens, and I think he's been a little bit heartbroken over what he's seen and what he's witnessed, because he knows the potential within this relationship. It feels like this king may want to take action on behalf of one or both of these people. It's interesting because Gemini it wasn't necessarily a super similar reading, but it was two queens at odds, and there was a King of Cups in that reading as well. So there might be something in the Gemini reading for you, Virgo. If you want to take a look there, you could be dealing with a Gemini. So I'm just throwing that out there if you want to take a look at that reading, which was posted yesterday. So again, this King of Cups could be a patriarchal figure, a father figure. This could be a friend. But the King of Cups, this could be a spouse of one of the queens. This King of Cups has love for both of these parties, and he has concern for both of these parties. And I think he would like to see them come back together. I think he's willing to lend some support, and maybe be of some kind of assistance to these two as they work through whatever they need to work through. I think that this Queen of Cups, Virgo, and I feel like this is you, but you can be any one of these characters on the board. You could be the Queen of Wands or even the King of Cups. I think the Queen of Cups, again, feels a little bit overly protective of herself. Maybe unwilling to, I'm going to take this one, unwilling to open the door or accept this Queen back, this Queen of Wands back, but there needs to be give and take on both sides. So once this Queen of Wands comes to terms with what she feels she needs to do to make amends, to do the work, to do the healing, you might want to be a little less resistant of this kind of energy and be a little bit more open to letting this person back in. So we have the Four of Water that came out, and this did come out in your reading. Four of Cups. It came out in the reverse, clarifying this Queen of Cups energy. Four of Water is in the upright in the Dreams of Gaia Tarot. So I'm going to read this, and then we're going to finish off this reading for you, Virgo.
let's see what we've got. I think there it is. Cups are at the end. I have to remember the water's at the end. 4 of water. Okay, this is about a page long. Here we go, Virgo. The 4 of water stands before you with quiet confidence and awareness. Despite his scarred appearance, he sees only beauty when he looks at his reflection. A gentle smile curves his lips as he regards himself with kindness and understanding. He has many weaknesses and during his lifetime has made many mistakes, and yet he chooses to see the lessons he has learned and forgive himself, instead of holding on to feelings of shame, regret, and guilt. Every scar makes him more beautiful, and every mistake presents him the opportunity to learn, to grow, and to become wiser. Like all of us, he has many strengths to balance out his weaknesses, and it is these strengths on which he chooses to focus. He believes he is deserving of both love and happiness, and even when life offers an experience that scars, he refuses to allow hurt or disappointment to erode his self-belief or close his heart. This does not mean that he is blind to his flaws, rather he accepts them for what they are. Parts of a whole that is imperfect and perfect at the same time. The 4 of water arrives in your reading to ask whether you look at yourself with less love than you should. Do you see only your flaws and imperfections and feel as if you should apologize for having them, instead of seeing them as something that gives you depth and character? Those flaws and scars and imperfections are aspects of your nature that make you truly beautiful. You would shine like the sun if you would accept them and forgive them and allow them to simply be a part of who you are. It is time to let go of the idea that to be perfect is to be without flaw. Stop looking for the perfect relationship, the perfect idea or creation, the perfect career, or the perfect opportunity. Every relationship, every idea or creation, every career path, and every opportunity has flaws, imperfections, and the potential to fail or go awry. Realize that perfection is a paradoxical state and exists only when there is a peaceful acceptance and unconditional love for those scars, weaknesses, and flaws. Perfection is only achieved in seeing, accepting, and loving the flaws, knowing that they are an undeniable, necessary part of the beautiful, magical whole. The 4 of water comes to ask that you release any feelings of inadequacy or discomfort. You are in this moment everything you are meant to be, and so much more. Love yourself without condition. There you go, Virgo. Honestly, I think this card represents the relationship between these two, and the fact that right now there's some healing to be done, but both queens want this relationship to work, want this back, but they both just want balanced and equal relationship, and I think both are working on it. And it's okay to accept that there's been mistakes made, that there's been problems in the past, and maybe some things that aren't so pleasant and things that, you know, are uncomfortable to reveal and talk about. But that's what builds stronger relationships, is accepting those scars and those hardships and knowing that nothing is perfect, no matter how hard you try. Right, Virgo? So I'm going to leave this here. I hope that reading gave you some clarity and helped you in some way, shape, or form. If it did resonate, please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment if you want. I would appreciate that. And thanks so much for watching, and I hope I see you again soon. Bye, Virgo.